Sorry about that. I had to split it into two parts because I get very long-winded, obviously. Hopefully the first part downloaded. I got it right at 15 minutes, and I can't exceed 15 minutes. I don't know if that's a YouTube thing or not. I don't know. I think it is. I think they give you a limit or something on your popularity. You get more minutes and something like that. But as I was saying, yeah, unfortunately, kindness doesn't pay the bills. Now, in terms of a job I would be happy with, I would be 1,000 times more happy with that company that works with the disabled people and stuff. In terms of fulfillment, that would be my dream job. In terms of paying bills, it just won't cut it, and I hate to say that, but that's the world we live in now. Kindness doesn't pay the way that it should. And it's sad. It's sad that someone who wants to go out and help the world is not justly rewarded. And I'm not saying I look for reward. I'm not saying I have no problem volunteering my time, volunteering my money, my efforts, my energy to the betterment of others. That's kind of what I live for. But I've also got bills to pay. Eventually, I'll have mouths to feed, and I, volunteering for nothing, though it's very fulfilling to me, it won't feed children, it won't pay bills, which is sad. I honestly think it's sad. And as a volunteer, you don't look for reward. You do it out of the kindness of your heart to give your time, your energy to better your community, to better the people around you. And that's what volunteering is. And that's what I like to think of it as, and that's what I like to hold it as. But still, I mean, it gets to the point you have to decide: do you want to volunteer your time and be fulfilled emotionally, mentally, or do you have to? Yeah, I don't even think it's a want; it's a have to. Do you have to pay your bills on time? Do you have to feed yourself, your family? And so that's where it gets really sad. And I could go on and on about how I think that just being within the kind of system we're in is slavery to a paper god called money. There's a god called money that is active in all things that we do, and we are a slave to that god. And I mean, that's a video for another time because I could go on for an hour or more straight about that, about how the system is basically slavery to a paper god called money. And it's sad. But yeah. So, anyways, since I work in the late afternoon to the evening, I'll be going back from about 6 o'clock in the morning to 2:30 to the high school. Be helping out all day with the MH kids, with the special ed kids, and that's what I look forward to doing. That is the best thing in the world to me. The fact that I'll get to mess with my brother is also kind of that's just a nice perk. So it's a sad world, man. It can be. I mean, I don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good things in this world. I think we all take a lot of things for granted, whether we know it or not. There are just little things that make our days so much more beautiful because they're there, and we just don't realize it enough to thank them or to be thankful for them. But it's just part of human nature. We can't always focus on the little things. eventually we get drawn back to the bigger things, and those things absorb most of our attention. Now, like right now, I can be thankful for this blue sky. I'm glad it's there. It makes the world a little more beautiful. The sun is out. There's birds singing, the green grass everywhere. I mean, everything is looking beautiful outside. And you know what? That's good, and I appreciate that that's there, and it makes my day a lot better that it is there. But eventually, I have to go to work, so I have to think about my finances. I have to think about making more money. That's just the way it is. That's human nature. We can only be focused on beauty for so long, it seems. But anyways, I'm sorry to have taken up so much of your time on these little meanderings and discussions. I know I jumped around a lot. I started off with the purpose of saying that I don't have to go back to school, but I am, and that it was, you know, kind of a hellish experience for me. I didn't enjoy it, and now I'm going back willingly, which is kind of ironic, very ironic. But, it's going to be a good experience because now that I don't have to deal with anyone, now that I don't have to deal with teachers, I don't have to deal with the pressure of grades, the pressure of tests, or did I forget my homework, or did I do this right, do that right. It's going to be a lot easier because now all I have to do is interact with some very special kids, some very bright, smart kids who just happen to be a little bit different. And because of that, people avoid them. It's also something that I look forward to is helping people to understand. Now this was last year. I didn't get in trouble for this, and I kind of regret it now, just because I should have taken a different approach. But there was this redneck kid, and I mean, he and his buddy were just standing out in the hallway talking or something, and then I walk by with I was just kind of helping one of the MH kids do they have a work study program where they do a job every day, and I was helping him do that. I'm kind of like I just watch him and make sure he's doing everything right and that he's learning to do the job by himself. But these two redneck kids were talking, and then as soon as we walked by, they got all quiet, and then I hear them behind me. I have like really good hearing. I hear them behind me say, "Oh yeah, that's one of those retard kids." I'm like, wait. He just called one of these kids a retard kid. So I say, "Hey, Rashid, go into the class, and I'll be there in just a second." So Rashid goes into the class, and takes the cart that we use for his job in, and I turn around and I walk up to these guys. I'm like, what? And he's like, "Yeah, I heard that's one of the retard kids." I slammed him against a wall and picked him up by his neck with my forearm. Like, had him pressed his neck right there and had him held up on the wall, like off the ground because he was a short guy. I'm 6'2". So, uh, he's like choking there, and I'm seeing red. I was not myself. So, I'm like, "Say it again. Tell me what he is. Tell me one more time." And I'm like cussing at him, and I'm just, oh my god, I was mad. And a teacher comes out, and she's like, "What in the world is going on out here?" I said, "This was about to die if he calls one of these kids retarded one more time." She's like, "Put him down and walk away." So I dropped his ass and ran, man. It was bad. It was not a good situation. I'm not a violent person. I'm a boxer. Like I do boxing. That's one of my hobbies. I do that after work sometimes. But I'm not a violent person by nature. I can be, obviously, if you provoke me to a point where I have to be, or where I kind of lose control, but I'm not a violent person. I just have the capability to be, like any other person. So, yeah, that was one of the less pleasant experiences I had this year. And I feel sorry for it now. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have reacted so hostilely. Because he just did not understand. He was ignorant. But I still don't think that's an excuse to make fun of someone. If you don't know, get to know. Learn. That's my philosophy on life. If you don't know, learn. So that's you know what, that's going to be my message to you today. If you don't know, learn. And I find that if anyone, if even a fraction of the people in the world did that, we would have far fewer wars, far fewer crimes. It would be a much better world if people who didn't know just took the time to learn. Anyways, I'm running out of time here with this video, and this is the second part of my back to school meanderings. So, I hope y'all have a good day. Like, subscribe, comment, do what you gotta do, and I'll see y'all later.